All right, how you doing? Um, this is very going to be a very interesting discussion here. Uh, this topic should not be too controversial. I guess I have to go off of Blur here for a second. I'm going to show you something. Camera, virtual background, none. All right, so watch this. All right, so okay. So there's the coach, yeah, a little critical. All right. Watch this. The hand on the back. Okay. Boom. All right. That's on Instagram. And let me say a couple things first. All right. Number one, um, it doesn't have to be controversial. Number two, that's from the Functional Tennis Instagram page, which is amazing. There's so much great content on Functional Tennis Instagram. Highly recommend it. Yeah. I mean, I'm always seeing something a little new, a little different, maybe some things I've seen before, but done in a different way. Love it. Okay. So I'm not saying that. All right. So then, what I did is I asked the question, does she like his hand on her back? Let me turn the sound down on that. And it could be that she does. Could be that she loves it. It could be that her coach is also her boyfriend. This happens on the tour. We know that, right? Or it could be that she tolerates it, or she accepts it as normal because she doesn't move forward the way she should. And so she needs a little push. Okay, fine, right? Maybe she doesn't like it. Maybe she doesn't like it. And it's a fair question. And I think it's an interesting thing to look at from a coaching perspective, because I know for certain that there's not a majority of players that I coach that are going to want me to put my hand on their back like that. They're going to recoil. And it's not anything about me, right? So I asked this question: does she like her hand on the back? Um, and then 23 people, 23 people said that they like that question, that it's a valid question. I got a response. Yes, said one person. Um, it's her back. Calm down. And 60 people like that. I'm like, calm down. Okay. Um, one person did an emoji, so that's interesting. Um, and then I answered the emoji, strange response to the question. Um, then uh, then somebody said, "Oh, that's a strange question," and I said, "No, actually, it's not." Um, so then I asked another question: every player wants their coach's hand on their back? You want your coach's hand on your back? I probably don't. And so, from the standpoint of showing a different way to give a cue to somebody to move forward, okay, fine, right? But you have to be cautious in how you apply these things, because I'm very certain that it would be very easy to attempt that particular thing with the wrong player and for it to not go well. Um, and so, then people have been deleting their responses, so I can't read them now. But um, one of them, said, "Oh, if you get a massage, they have to touch you." And I said, "Well, it's a simple question, but massage is different." No. Um, and and then Functional Tennis weighed in and said that that they were applauding someone who's criticizing the question. Um, and then somebody said, he's been coaching for a while, so yes, she does. Does it matter how long somebody's been coaching? I don't think so. Here, this one says, my daughter's coaches have to touch her shoulder, her back, and gasp. Sometimes her hands to help her. Please don't try to make something out of nothing. So, and so then, and I'm like, okay, well, yes, it is true that there will be times that a coach must touch the player to turn them in a certain position, or, move their hand, move their grip to a certain place. Okay. But if you watch carefully, if you watch back, you'll see he placed his full hand on her back. And I think that's unnecessary. So, you could do it with one finger and just tap. Right. So it's a very interesting thing. And very, very defensive responses. And then I'm also seeing other people responding and saying, that, they would do this. And then, I'm a little perplexed because, people have deleted their responses because maybe they had a chance to think about it more. And so this one guy, I said, okay, test it out. Place your hand on your player's back. In fact, place your hand on all of your players' backs and check it out, see what happens. You might find that it isn't going to go well, right? And then somebody said she can do those steps before split step by herself. There's no need to push her. Why does this touch call more attention than the training itself? So it's really interesting to me that people will overlook the question. They'll distract away from the question, and it's extremely legitimate. And so I will caution people that one of the most important ways to be professional is to accept questioning and to deal with it, in a very straightforward, forthright manner. And instead of getting defensive, there were actually some very insulting ones. I'm actually a little disappointed that I didn't get to read the ones that said that there was something mentally wrong with me or whatever. That was kind of sad, but what can you do? But, we as coaches, we have to be very careful about how we approach those times that we need to direct our player. And so when I have to move somebody's shoulders, I use a very clinical approach. And when I'm changing grips, I'll go like that. So there's no feeling behind it. It can't be misinterpreted as something other than I'm moving your hands right now. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Go and look at Functional Tennis. Definitely subscribe to them. Nothing but great things from Functional Tennis, but just this one thing, I think this isn't something that people really want to emulate in their coaching because it could lead to some problems. So let me know what you think. Am I completely off base? It's just my opinion. You tell me what you think. Please click like and subscribe and share it out so that you can humiliate me in front of a larger audience. It's been a pleasure. And now I have to go run off to the lesson.